Just before we start with questions, I think Snit just wanted to say something.
Yeah. Just one on behalf of our organization to offer condolences to the Phelan family. Tragic thing, young man like that, and also we lost a good friend last night in Bruce Suter too. It's just kind of breaks your heart. But just on behalf of the organization, myself, just like to offer our condolences to both of the families.
All right, thanks. Zach, we'll start with you.
Well said, Snit. As for today's game, why Spencer over Charlie?
Yeah, no, we went into last night talking about that. Because like I told you the other day, I said we put this kid on the roster to pitch him. And I think because we won the game the other night on Wednesday, and it's Kyle going deep into the game, and this pretty much the state of our bullpen. Because, he's not going to go 7 innings today, and we know we're going to use the bullpen. And I think probably, when we were talking about this, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but, that was kind of the scenario that we were hoping for, is a good start, win the game, know we're going to play 4. And it just kind of lined up, I think, with where our bullpen is.
Justin?
If you guys' bullpen wouldn't have been as rested, do you think you probably would have gone Charlie today to get that line?
Now, I don't know. It's... Possibly. I don't, it's just because we weren't faced with that. I really don't know, don't know for sure. But because Charlie obviously was in the equation also. But I think just the fact that we won the game, we're going to play 4, with the off day, a lot of the relievers that were probably used in that middle there have had 2 days off. So, it lined up and just kind of said Spencer once we got to it.
Mark?
Do you have an expectation of how far Strider might be able to go?
No, we're going to just take him inning by inning. We have kind of a best case scenario. We'll just see how he gets us, what happens each and every inning, and we have a kind of a number in mind and innings, but we're just going to kind of let that thing develop and see where we're at.
Justin?
So are you able to share that best case scenario or the number in mind?
No, well, we got it.
Adam?
Were there any tests that Ronald Acuna had to pass today?
No, I haven't, spoken to the trainers are all good with him. I think the biggest thing I said, and it kind of worked out good that he scored, and we had some time that inning kept going, and it was just about getting feeling back. And by the time that inning was over, he was throwing in the cage and was good to go. So I think if that inning would have ended with him at second base, I'm not 100% sure we'd have felt comfortable running him back out there. But because we had some time and we could test him out a little bit in the cage, everybody felt good about. And I don't know that we could have kept him out either. He was bound determined to go back.
Can I just follow up one thing? He was on base throughout games 1 and 2. How do you think about the difference in your club and in the lineup when he's out there? So
it's a big difference when he's there as opposed to not being there. It's there's no doubt. And I think his legs seem to be feeling really good, and when that's happening and he can use them, then he's a difference maker, obviously.
Mark?
I saw RC has struck out basically half of his at-bats against Nola. Was that the prime reason?
Pretty much, yeah. That's what I talked to him about, too. I said, it's just right or wrong, whatever. I said, you just need to be ready because he's been such a, has done so well. But, you just kind of look and he's had enough at-bats to where it's the right sample size, I guess, to try and take a shot with the other.
And given the excitement that Vaughn created when he first came up here, how much are you looking forward to seeing him out there in the playoffs?
Well, I'm just, I'm glad we have a guy like that we can put out there. I liked his at-bats the other day, the last day of the season. He hadn't played a lot. He had some pretty good at-bats in Miami. So, it's just like I told Orlando, it's just one of them things. Managers come in, they have a hunch or whatever and hope it works.
Zach?
With that injury for Spencer, is there precedent in terms of the length how someone goes? Because it's not an arm. You're dealing with something else in the body.
Yeah, that's why I think we do have a target area, I guess, that we'll look at and don't want to take him past because of the fatigue and everything. You ask him, he I just talked to him this morning, and he's planning on going 9 innings. And that's kind of, that's what makes this kid who he is. I mean, and he's not kidding me when he says that either. I mean, he, in his mind, thinks he could go out and go 9 innings. But I just said, let's just go one at a time. But just win an inning first.
Scott in the back.
Seen from some of the bottom of the order these first couple games, like say a Harris or an Azuna, both with some pretty hard hit contact.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I look at Michael thinking he's kind of like a time bomb waiting to go off here because at any point in time this kid can explode, and and Marcel too. I'm looking at him as just the experience that he has against these guys that we're facing, and he has some good at bats the other day too. So I'm hoping that both of those guys, you sit and hope that they get her going and can explode at some point in time.
Kelly.
Snit, I know you've been asked a lot about the rookies this season and the impact they've had on your year. When you wrote up the lineup tonight and knew you were going to start 3 of them in a game with this kind of stakes, what kind of were you thinking?
I didn't even realize it till you just told me.
I mean, that's probably unique, I would assume, for you.
No, it is. I mean, that's a credit to our organization. I said our scouting, player development, the whole organization. It's just a credit to the strength of our organization. I think, and not only how deep we are with players, but, internally, what I say, our scouting and player development staff.
Any last ones for Snit? All right, thanks. We'll see you after the
thanks.
game. That's going to conclude today's pregame